Hello, my name's Chris Huot. I'm down here in my underground basement office, and this is my YouTube channel. I haven't made too many videos like this, speaking into a camera, so I'll begin by saying thank you. Thank you to my fans and my friends and my family who have kept me going all these years. Your love and support has been the most powerful inspiration I've ever bared witness to. Thank you for that. I appreciate it, and it's been one doozy of a ride. Also, I'd like to thank YouTube for this opportunity and the YouTube content creators for keeping me entertained, answering my questions, inspiring me to get my hands dirty and get smarter every day. Thank you for that. I'd like to talk a little bit about how YouTube helped me through a crisis. But you'll have to bear with me, this is a bit of the darker part of the story. And actually, I'm just gonna read this out because I'll get through it faster. Forgive my audio. I know, it's crap, but it'll get better. In 2020, my identity and connection to society was broken. 1 year ago, on March 4th, less than 2 weeks before the 2020 Juno Awards in Saskatoon, my brother, Adrian Huot, lost his life. 1 week before COVID-19 threw chaos across the world, my life was already shattered to pieces. Suddenly, on March 1st, my brother Adrian fought his last battle at 30 years old, dialing 911 at about 6 o'clock in the morning. Unfortunately, he was unable to speak and his location had to be traced. By the time responders arrived and forced entry, Adrian was passed out and he had gone too long without oxygen. Responders restarted his heart twice and brought him into intensive care. They also had to awaken Adrian's two sons, Nikolai and Milo, who were the only ones home asleep at the time. The doctors ran tests and worked around the clock for 3 days, searching for any sign of hope that my brother might recover a portion of his damaged brain one day. After they did all the tests and rigorous assessments, my family was told he would never understand sound, taste, touch, or smell again. He would likely remain unable to recognize us. And there was no sign that he'd be able to breathe or swallow on his own for the foreseeable future. March 4th last year, one day before my 35th birthday, my family and I decided that Adrian shouldn't be left on life support. Based on what we thought he would have wanted us to do in this unthinkable situation, I think that if Adrian was inside that broken down vessel, my brother would have been furious at the idea of us clinging to the blind hope of his recovery over nurturing and bonding with his two sons that he had devoted his life to. And for those who are wondering, Adrian did not have drugs or chemicals or alcohol in his system at the time of his death. There was no brain aneurysm or a blood clot found, or no evidence of a heart attack. They concluded that the probable cause of his death was a hereditary enlarged heart. He was a busy, loving father, and he was getting in better physical shape when he lost his life. Taking my brother off of life support was the most difficult experience I'll ever have in this lifetime. Now that a year has passed, my livelihood is gone. My parents have lived long lives. I'm an only child, and it seems to be the end of the world. I can't think of how a worse tragedy could ever occur from here on out. So, I've grieved with my family for a year now. Some healing has begun, and I feel like I can sort of take some of the pressure off of the wound. I've been able to gather some of the pieces of my life together, and now I'd like to start building something new with what I have. For me, YouTube's always been an escape from television and movie formulas, and I've always had a higher appreciation for it than scrolling through photos and 5-second video clips. YouTube really helped me out when it came to rediscovering myself and rekindling my passions. At a time when the world was in lockdown, the movie, TV, and music industry stood still. Socializing became illegal. YouTubers kept making good, relatable content that I could connect with personally. Thank you. Okay, even though this is kind of the outro of this video, it's actually more like an introduction. An intro to a new way of expressing myself. An intro to a new time. A new way of sharing my experiences with the world. To a new age. I didn't expect to get this far. An introduction to a new way to inspire my fans and loved ones. An introduction to a new community. And maybe one day with some community growth, I can introduce a new support system in place of the one that was taken from my nephews and I so soon after Adrian was taken from all of us. Okay, so with all that having been said, I have some new ideas. I have this insanely disturbed imagination. I have a lot of thingies and doohickeys kicking around here that I know many of you have been asking me about. I realize connecting with a big community has helped me accomplish some incredible things in my life, and I want to keep that going. So I'd like to invite you to stay tuned. I have some content in mind that I'd like to share with you, but if nothing else, I just wanted to talk about my brother and pay forward some gratitude in case I don't see you. Adrian, I love you and I miss you so much. Thank you to my supporters, and thanks for tuning in.